Then they start getting bored with you. They start devaluing. They start picking fights here and there. They're grooming someone else behind your back. They're leaving trails of evidence that they're cheating on you to create cognitive dissonance, to get you paranoid, to get you walking on eggshells. And then you just get thrown away. Dumped, discarded, blocked, ghosted, silent treatment. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. This is Kira. And we're going to be talking about the silent treatment today. We're going to be talking about narcissism and cheating and lying, because that's what we talk about here in the Psychopath Exposure Show. For those of you that have just tuned in for the first time, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Anyway, I'm done telling you what to do. Why don't I jump into this comment from Spirit_1111 from a long time ago. It just popped up here. They say, I looked up silent treatment and why someone would discard someone over and over and over again and keep coming back. And this is when I realized he had been seeing other girls in between with Tinder on the phone after asking me to come over once again. Someone doesn't reciprocate that they love you more than anything just to trash you 2 days later and act like an enemy. This was planned since he found someone else. Happened at least 20 times. And yes, he had hundreds of pictures of himself and many social media platforms. Me? Zero. No pics, no social media whatsoever. And someone responded a few weeks ago, because they are disordered. What they do doesn't make sense to us more normal people. So, okay, let's look at that. The silent treatment. That's so funny. More and more people nowadays are just using the silent treatment when they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with an argument that they, it's since most of communication nowadays is text-based, people are afraid to pick up the phone and talk. Just don't have the time to just have a conversation with people, especially if you're working from home. You can't just be on the phone. You're dealing with clients, you're on Zoom, you're doing this and the other, or when you're in the office, no personal calls, all that stuff. So people just texting. Okay, and if you start getting into an argument over text, it's just easier to just ignore, But the narcissist knows that a silent treatment is going to affect you. So the narcissist uses the silent treatment as punishment. Okay, they know that it's hurting you. So what's interesting is that they don't have to do anything. All they got to do is just ignore you. And it's very easy to ignore someone. It's just don't respond. Go about your business. Don't respond. Don't answer, right? So it's like making residual income. You don't have to lift a pinky and money keeps pumping into your account. It's kind of like the same thing. Narcissistic supply is pumping into the narcissist's brain, and they don't have to do jack diddly squad. They're just ignoring you, just giving you the silent treatment. Kind of sucks, doesn't it? On the receiving end, it sucks that. But yeah, of course, they're on Tinder. They're banging different people. They're meeting different people. They have people on rotation. They don't care about you. But when it's your turn, they'll call you again. When things are not working out, when the grass isn't always greener, they're going to come back. They're going to tell you how much they love you, that you're the best thing that ever happened to them, that they can't live without you. They're going to tell you all this. And just 2 days later, they're going to do the same thing to you. It's going to be even worse. They will treat you like the enemy. They will be oozing with all this resentment. Where was that resentment 2 days ago, you ask? Where was all that resentment 2 days ago when you were begging to let me back in? When you were telling me how much you loved me? When you were telling me that I'm the love of your life, can't live without you? Where was that? See? It's a disorder. Okay? It's a disorder. And to, like the commenter said, to us more normal people, it doesn't make sense. You have to study this shit to understand a little bit more of why these patterns repeat when you're dealing with disordered individuals. like the one you're describing, why these things happened at least 20 times. You can imagine something happens one time, you make a mistake, and you apologize and you own up to it. You start showing different behavior after that. You make amends to the person. You take accountability for what you did. And you make it a point never to do that thing again. But when you're dealing with the cluster B disorder, when you're dealing with narcissists, you're going to experience the same pattern over and over again. You're going to experience the discard, a hoover, promises to make things better, and then another devalued discard over and over again, so long as you keep taking them back. And this is just like in the primitive stages. We're not even talking about psychopaths here and deranged stalkers and obsessive cluster B disordered individuals. We're just talking about narcissists here. We're just talking about the basic love bomb. They have you on a pedestal. Then they start getting bored with you. They start devaluing. They start picking fights here and there. They're grooming someone else behind your back. They're leaving trails of evidence that they're cheating on you to create cognitive dissonance, to get you paranoid, to get you walking on eggshells. And then you just get thrown away. Dumped, discarded, blocked, ghosted, silent treatment. What, you think they're home? Miserable because they're mad and they're just hoping that maybe you call them and you guys can talk it out. No, you are calling them. You're blowing up their phone and they're ignoring you. They're giving you the silent treatment and they're getting ready for their date. Yeah, it's nuts how there's people in the world that can be so cruel. And it's getting worse, guys, let me tell you. It's getting worse because society, if you notice now, if you have, kids, if you have nieces and nephews, little brothers, little cousins, and you start seeing what they're growing up with. They're growing up with these devices and these social media accounts where people are posting all sorts of toxic shit. People are posting all sorts of just bad advice. Just bad advice is being written by broken people that are teaching you how to be bad. They're teaching you how to hurt other people. How can these young people talking about gaslighting and narcissism? This wasn't a thing. Like, I would never hear this back in the day, unless you were into psychology. So it's getting worse. It's absolutely getting worse. But once you experience it, and this doesn't happen to everybody, let me tell you, this doesn't happen to everybody, but when it does happen to you, no matter at what age this happens to you, you will never forget this experience, let me tell you. You will never forget this experience, and it will change you. It will change the way you look at people. It will change the way you react or respond to certain cues. If a good friend or if a good, family member, all of a sudden you feel that you're getting the silent treatment, it may not be with the same intent as the narcissist uses the silent treatment on you, but it might feel the same because you have a little PTSD now. Don't be quick to just call everybody a narcissist. Don't be too quick to just slap that label on anybody that doesn't reply within a few hours. Okay? We are living in this new society where everything is text-based and it's so easy to block. Some people, I think a lot of people exhibit narcissistic traits from time to time. I think we all sometimes do things that we're like, hey, that's kind of messed up. But just because you do one or two things, that doesn't automatically qualify you as being this big thing. Okay, but when you do have that diagnosis, then you read the symptoms. It's like, oh, well, there it is, 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 and you start checking everything off. But just someone has one or two, they do something, and it's not something that is like habitual. It's not a pattern. It's not the same. But that doesn't mean that it's something you should accept. It's still something that you should be able to have a conversation with the person and tell them, hey, you know what? when you do this, I feel this way. Start with that. I feel this way, every time you say this to me, or you do this action or whatever, I feel this way, and I just want to have a conversation. Like, why is it that you're doing that? Or is there, did I do something wrong? Sometimes communication is all that's needed. And communication and context gets lost when you're texting. Needless to say, when someone's giving you the silent treatment, now there's no communication. How do you expect anything to be resolved when the person refuses to even speak with you? But yeah, these dating apps and this Tinder is just making it easier and easier for narcissists to continue playing their game, because they feel they have infinite supply. They feel that, hey, you know what? I'm just a swipe away from meeting someone that I can spend the rest of my life with. I don't need to deal with you. I don't need to put up with your shit. I don't need to go back and forth with you. I don't need to argue and waste my breath and ruin my day. I'm just gonna ignore you, swipe, and hit this new person up and set up a new date. That's probably not gonna work out. It's probably not gonna work out. So I hope by now, Spirit, if you ever even see this video, because you did leave this comment like 7 months ago, but it popped up because someone had responded to you. I hope you've cut ties with this person. I hope it hasn't turned into 120 times that you've been doing the back and forth. I hope by now you've realized, hey, you know what, this is a joke. And there are way better people out there on the planet, starting with yourself, that you can spend time with, than someone that's going to be, putting you through the ringer like this. Okay? So, if you see this video, let me know how things have changed for you. That would be great. That would be great. I hope you're not on Tinder. I hope you haven't been swiping and then meeting other narcissists, because it seems that, and most of the people that I work with and they're talking to me about their narcissists, except for the ones that have been married like 20, 30 years, they all meet these people on dating apps. That doesn't mean that narcissists only hang out on dating apps. It doesn't mean that there aren't narcissists out there that are not on this in the social media thing, but it's just it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's very easy to just slap up some pictures, put a filter on them, write a bio that you think people people will relate with, or that's what most people are looking for. See, because most people are looking for the same type of person. That's another thing. And I can go on a rant about society, how the majority of people like the same things, dress the same, listen to the same music, eat the same foods, go to the same places. The majority of people do that. And then, you're trying to find the needle in the haystack if you're different, if you actually have a brain and you actually like different things, that it's not just what's being spoon-fed to you by television and Netflix. So you meet someone, you go on the social media, and it's so easy for these people to just have a constant rotation, because most people like the same shit. So they know how to craft those profiles to attract those people, especially if you live in the big cities. Stay away from the apps. That's all I got for today. This is Kita with Psychopath Exposure. Drop a like, comment on the video if this resonates with you. And hope I see you guys in the next one. Okay? I will see you guys later, and I will end this video now, and I will not say another word. Just kidding. Have a nice day. Peace. I said another word. No more words. Words are over. Where's the button?